Hey there, Sangat. Okay, I'm going to show you the easiest, fastest snatch tutorial ever. And it's really going to take all of the questions out of the movement itself. It's really not very complex, providing you have the upper body strength, and you do, as well as the upper body mobility, again you do. There's just a couple of technique tweaks that are going to change everything, okay? So first things first, the number one thing that you're going to need to work on is the timing. So one of the most common mistakes you see when people doing a snatch for the first time, as you no doubt know, well, that was actually too good. Never mind, hang on. They'll do this, and then it flops over and hits them on the arm, okay? So you don't want that, obviously. What you want is it to move smoothly overhead, okay? The second thing, in conjunction with that, is just how much do you bend the arm, all right? So early on, again, most people treat it like it's a swing that just ends up overhead. In some ways, that's true. Other people will try to pull it too close to them, in which case, you know, when they start getting fatigued or it starts to get heavy, they just can't really do it anymore. So what this next drill is going to do is going to show you not only how to get your timing right, but also just how much you need to bend your elbow, okay? So what you're going to do is we're going to do like a 1-inch punch, all right? So essentially, from here, what you're going to do is you're going to imagine you've got like somebody's hand here. You could do it with a wall or something like that, and it's going to actually be physically touching. You're just going to crank your hand back a little bit and then punch. Okay, you're not trying to drill through them. Okay, I don't know if you've ever done martial arts, but it's the point. So then at the point here, so you'd be here. You're going to do this. Okay. The rest of the body doesn't move. I'm just bending at the elbow. Like that. Okay? So it's just this little move like this. Okay? From the front, it would look like this. Okay? So as time goes on, you're going to get a little bit of a better sense of just how much the elbow has to bend. It's really not going to be too much. All right? So what this is going to look like with the kettlebell now is going to be as follows. What you're going to do, you're going to set up like you would for any other ballistic movement, okay? And you are going to do this 1-inch punch motion, and you're going to get the kettlebell to kind of wrap around and touch the back of your forearm, okay? So it'll look like this. It's called a front snatch. On the last couple you noticed, I speared my fingers open. It's not a bad idea because you want to get in the habit of doing that at the top of your snatch so that your grip doesn't get really, really fried, okay? This is going to really tax your grip no matter what, so you might as well be as loose as you possibly can. So, once more, I'm going to show you this time from the front what this is going to look like. So again, when you're kind of like sliding your hand underneath and then you just slide it back, all right? So go ahead and watch. Okay, so you get the timing in terms of when your hand is supposed to move and how it's supposed to move, and you also get the rhythm correct. Okay, so once you can do this just on your own by yourself, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start moving it up a few levels. Okay, so I'm going to show you once again from the front and from the side. So what you'll do is legs up. Okay? Now, from the front, bingo. Pretty simple, very straightforward. Not really a whole lot more to add. So that is going to cover the first issue, which is timing and some of the basics of technique that trip people up in the beginning. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the bell's path, all right? So you might be familiar with the term taming the arc. So if you see like a swing, a really big arc, clean, very tight arc, okay? Snatch is somewhere in the middle, right? So now most people think of it just in terms of, you know, the bell starting here and ending wherever it's supposed to go. Now, my recommendation, this is what I've discovered, this is what helped me just master my snatch test with a lot less wailing and gnashing of teeth. Also helped me to be able to snatch much heavier, was just this one very simple thing. You have this midline of your body. You just want the kettlebell to travel down the midline, okay? Seems easy enough. Now watch the difference though, because when you're snatching light, the first issue that many people have when they're learning how to snatch is they just do the natural thing. If they're using one hand, so they're just going to be naturally biased toward that side. And you can get a kettlebell over your head like that, okay? There's no problem. The question becomes when you're doing it for a lot of reps, such as like 100 in your test, or you're doing it with heavier weight, you're going to find that if you're off to the side, you're going to have to really labor it overhead. It can be a little rough on the shoulder, and it's definitely not all that good for your strength. So what you need to do is you need to go right down the center. Okay? Now, the easiest thing to do is as long as the kettlebell passes in between your eyes, okay, not off to one side, but right in the middle, then you should be okay. But really imagining this center line is going to be your saving grace. So what this will look like, I'm going to show you the less ideal version, and then I'm going to show you the center line version. Okay? Less ideal version is like that. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. Looks pretty good, right? Now we're going to go with the center line version. Okay? So, don't know if you can tell, but for me, I feel like I don't have to pull as much when it's going down the center line. I feel like there's a point right about here where the kettlebell literally just floats, and then all I do is I just kind of guide it into the overhead position. When I'm here, I feel like the guidance starts right when my hips stop. So I have to really keep hold of it. Again, if I'm right down the middle, I just feel like my hand has to travel along with the bell. It has nothing to do with guiding it to its final path, up until we get to that last stage. Okay? So right down the center line is going to make them feel a lot easier. You're going to find that it's also going to recruit more muscle, because essentially, if you're off to the side and you're biasing just one side to do your snatches, you don't get to use as much muscle because you're not going to be able to take advantage of the opposite side. So don't assume that just because it's a one-sided movement that only one side of the body is supposed to be doing the work. If you can recruit much more muscle by getting it to go down the center line and get just as much work out of the opposite side, you're going to have a much easier time snatching. Okay? Now, as far as the descent goes, same exact idea. Okay? You want it to go right down the center line. Again, if you're going off to the side, it's just going to be a lot more work. That's it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing it off to the side, but it's more work. And it's less easy to build up to heavier snatches, which are very, very helpful in terms of really mastering the snatch test. Okay? In fact, even if you couldn't do lighter snatches, but you could only do heavier snatches like once a week, you could get prepared for the snatch test without a doubt. I've done it before. I don't recommend it for you because you're going to be doing it at the end of a certification, but it's definitely possible. So this is a really important tip. Okay? Now, as far as controlling it on the way down, it's basically like this. You're going to be hand over your head. You're going to kind of tap it down. Okay? So let me show you real quick. I'm going to snatch down the center line. Okay? Now from here, what I'm going to do is I just kind of bend the arm, catch, kind of like this. So I'm just bending the arm. It's this. Okay? Just the exact reverse. All right? It's almost hard to even describe because it'll feel so much more natural once your snatches feel more natural. Okay? So let me show you once again. All right? Up here. Okay? By the way, one quick tip: the harder you squeeze your glutes, easier kettlebell gets overhead. So keep that in mind. All right? So from here, just like that. You notice it's here and guide it. You can imagine it's like you're painting a fence, right? Just right down the center line, and you've got it. Your timing will get better on the descent. When that happens, of course, the ascent will also become a lot easier, all right? I'm going to give you one final super secret, really master the snatch note, and you're welcome to share with your friends if you'd like. So it's not totally a secret, but more than anything, I think that this is going to help you in the long haul in terms of just getting more work capacity, improving your cardio, because people run out of breath, and that's one of the biggest issues with the snatch. They just gas out. So what you do is think about it logically. For a swing, what's the breath like? It's like, okay, at the bottom, out when the hips snap, okay? What's it like with the clean? It's more or less the same thing, all right? In fact, the more you match with the hip snap, as opposed to waiting until it gets to the top position, as most people do, the easier you're going to find it, okay? So let me show you again for the clean. Just as a note, the best thing that you can do would be, okay, so that's going to come in handy also for the snatch, because what you see all too often is, you see, so the big difference is that the swing is half the range of motion of the snatch. So breathing once makes sense. But if the snatch gets all the way up here, it's twice as long, and you breathe once, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So you're doing twice as much work, and this is why people gas out. So what I highly recommend, and this will take a little time to get used to, but it's got a certain rhythm to it. What you want to do is you want to breathe in as normal, breathe out at the hip snap, and then when it gets overhead, do another quick breathe in and out, okay? So the standard would look like this, right? The updated version is snatches will continue to suck. They'll still be very hard, but you're not going to run out of gas anywhere close to as quickly as you would if you're only breathing once, okay? Very simple. It gets overhead. That's simple. This tripled my work capacity immediately. Tripled it. I went from doing, I could do 20 snatches on one arm, suck wind for about 4 or 5 minutes, 20 snatches on the other arm, and I was done for the day, to being able to do 30, switching hands and doing 30. This is with a 24 kilo kettlebell. So rather than doing 20 and setting it down, I was able to do 30. So that's immediately, 150% more than I was able to do previously on one arm in one set. But I was also able to switch hands, do the exact same amount without setting the kettlebell down. And by the time I did set the kettlebell down, I still had enough gas to keep going. The only thing that was really stopping me was my grip, okay? So if cardio is one of your issues, what you need is just to improve your aerobic capacity. So what better way to do that than just to breathe more often? That's a big step forward in the right direction. So, pretty all-encompassing tutorial that I've given you here. But I want you to start practicing these things now, and when we go over all the details in our Skype call, we'll go over some other stuff in terms of like programming and that sort of a thing. You're welcome also to send me a video. I would be very happy to take a look at any technique questions you might have ahead of time. But I want you to get started on this right off the bat. Start relatively light. You don't need to go, super crazy heavy just yet. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So have fun.